Voice of Change News.
This is Voice of Change Radio News. I'm Amanda Kumalo. A quick look at stories making the headlines. Nomination court to sit tomorrow. In business news, dairy sector growth drive import substitution thrust. In regional news, Zimbabwe Ghana sign historic cooperation agreement. In sports news, Coventry slams corruption, promises better days ahead for football. Now the news in detail. The nomination court will sit tomorrow across the country to consider and accept candidates for presidential, parliamentary and local authority polls ahead of the harmonized elections scheduled for August 23. The nomination court will sit at the High Court in Harare to consider the presidential candidates, while it will sit at all the 10 provincial capitals for parliamentary candidates. The nomination court will sit at all council offices across the country to consider candidates for local authority elections. The ruling ZANU-PF party, the opposition MDC-T and Triple C parties are the main contestants in the elections, in which several smaller political parties are also expected to take part. Moving on to business news. The dairy sector has recorded a 6% growth from 36 million litres in 2022 to 38 million litres recorded this year, as governments push on import substitution through increased local production bears fruit. Speaking at the Pastures Field Tour held in Harare yesterday, the Ministry of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development Permanent Secretary Dr. John Basera said milk products imports dropped by 86% from 3,418 tons recorded in 2022 to 465 tons this year. Milk production grew by 6% to 38 million as of May 2023, compared to 36 million litres produced during the same period last year. In news beyond our borders, Zimbabwe and Ghana have signed a historic general cooperation agreement to pave way for the establishment of a framework to underpin and formalize political and socio-economic relations between the two countries. The deal was inked on the sidelines of the African Development Bank 30th annual meetings, which are underway and also witnessed by Zimbabwe's ambassador to Ghana, Kufa Chinoza, and that country's envoy to Harare, Ambassador Grant Ntrakwa. Speaking after the signing ceremony, Deputy Minister Sapong described the event as historic, saying despite the two countries having relations that date back more than 60 years, no formal agreements exist to escalate cooperation. And finally, in sports news, Youth, Sport, Arts and Recreation Minister Kirsty Coventry yesterday spoke strongly against corruption and lack of corporate governance in football administration before dropping a hint that Zimbabwe's banishment from international football could be lifted in the next few weeks. The country is currently suspended from participating in international football by FIFA after the International Football Governing Body withdrew FIFA's membership rights on account of third-party interference in the running of the game. That brings us to the end of this bulletin.
Voice of Change News.